Hey, what's up, YouTube? I'm gonna go ahead and get right into this storyline. This is about Boys in the Hood and their strange deaths. The cast members. This first gentleman on the screen is Lloyd Bigham Jr. He was born 8/4/68 out of Chicago. He played the role of Mad Dog, who was a kind-hearted gang member who gave back the football to Little Ricky and Trey while they played. He died tragically from a car accident December 17th, 1995. Um, so I do believe he was 27 when he passed. So that's another odd year, odd age to pass away from. The second actor to die from Boyz n the Hood, right, is that's going to pop on screen is Diedrich Goldberg. Diedrich Goldberg played in Boyz n the Hood. He was handpicked by Singleton because they had similar backgrounds. He was a real-life Crip gang member in L.A., and unfortunately, that's the way he died. He died from tragically in a gang fight and was shot several times. His girlfriend also suffered injuries, leaving her paralyzed from the gang fight. He also played a small role in Poetic Justice and Higher Learning, also written and directed by Singleton. The next actor, the last actor that I wanted to speak on, and what I find the most shocking, his name was Lloyd Avery II. Now, Lloyd Avery II was born in the suburbs, raised in the suburbs, but decided that he wanted to become an actor. He's the one that played the trigger man, the one that actually shot Ricky in the back, the blood member. So what Lloyd, in his mind, I don't know if he had some kind of mental breakdown. He was quoted by his brothers as having the Tupac syndrome, which just means that the character that Tupac played in the movie Juice as Bishop, that's the character he played outside of that, that character. So tragically, 2 lives were lost because of the way he decided that he was going to live his life, because he wanted to become a gang member. He actually moved from the suburbs, became a real-life blood gang member, moved to a LA hood known as the Jungles. If you're not too familiar, that is a very known blood neighborhood in LA. So he was all out, full-fledged blood, had Jungles tattooed on his face, everything. And as I stated before, unfortunately, 2 lives were lost. He murdered 2 people. And he was sentenced to Pelican Bay, a life sentence. While he was locked up, he lost his own life. He was murdered by his own cellmate, which name was Kevin Roby. And the way of his death is so horrendous and so shocking. I mean, it could make a movie itself. He was murdered, do believe choked, and I do believe stabbed, and then his body was put in a pentagram drawn out of his own blood, and his body was not found until 2 days later, which I find it really strange too. I think that's really odd. But I have an interview clip of one of his cellmates, or one of his former cellmates, that knew him and actually spoke with the brother of Lloyd Avery, and this is how he got the story, and this is how the story got out, that this is what actually happened to Lloyd. I'm going to play this clip, and I'm going to let you listen, and you come to your own decision on how these characters, is it something mentally, or is it something that is placed out there for us to believe that this really happened, as far as like, can somebody play a character in Hollywood and actually have that type of mentality when they leave the stage, or if this is a constant stage that we are watching, and you know what I'm saying, we're just waiting for them to take their exit. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, John Singleton, being the writer and the director, he passed away last year of a strange death as well, and he was only 51 when he passed. So I find this to be really strange how these actors and directors or writers are passing away. You know, just like somebody's writing them out a script, or this is a whole movie that we're watching. Strange Hollywood is what, you know, it should be called. So, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and play this clip and let y'all listen. And you can like and subscribe and comment below. Thank you.
Just had that one little thing.
Right, the one little
you know,
yeah.
Man,
unfortunately,
this was shortly lived, I guess, because in 2005, soon after wrapping up shot, Avery was arrested for a double homicide and sentenced to life in prison. On the evening of September 2005, the same year he got sentenced, and he was killed by his cellmate in Pelican Bay, Kevin Roby.
And unfortunately, in 2005, I happened to be a man who was, living a lifestyle that was, contrary to what I live to now. And, I know Brother Avery from that time when he caught, that double murder. I was incarcerated myself with him. And, I was fighting my own charges, facing my own case and facing, like up to 12 years on my case. And, he was going to take his life sentence, and he turned his life over. He was a believer when I met him. When I met Lloyd Avery II, he was a believer. He had turned his life over to Christ. And that's what I had did as well when I caught my case. And unfortunately, when he went to the prison that he went to, he died. And, I, feel sad because I knew this brother from turning his life over. So to go to prison and be murdered, I guess you can say that, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, but he repented. So that means that he also won the battle. He might have lost the war, but he won the battle. That's what you need to look at. The brother repented and turned his life over. He gave his life to God.
Not to cut you off, my man, because this is just crazy. Like, I'm looking at the, basically, what I'm saying, he was killed by a devil worshiper. His cellmate was a devil worshiper.
After he had gave his life to God. That's crazy that he would be put in a cell with someone who was a devil worshiper when he has just been a man who's transformed his life regardless of his, sentence that he had and where he was facing. He was representing God from when I seen the brother. And like I said, we were incarcerated, And
he said that the cellmate performed a ritual over his dead body.
I never knew that part. Like I said, I was with him, before he went to Pelican Bay. We were in Wayside Jail in Los Angeles County. And everybody who knows what Wayside is, if you've been there before, that's where I was at with Brother Avery. And unfortunately, he lost his life.
It took the officers 2 days to find his body.
Right. I know about that, yeah.
How did he not say no? That's how you know this shit is crazy.
And what's really crazy is because I ended up meeting Brother Avery's brother after his passing. I started to live in Gardena. I moved to Gardena after I was released from jail, and I met his brother in a barbershop, and he was the one who told me about Avery's murder. I didn't even know he had passed away, and this was like 2006 after I had got out of jail. And yeah, he told me about his murder, and I was like, wow, that's crazy, because he had just turned over his life as well as I did. So I look at that man as a brother in Christ. His past life was his past life. He has moved on to where other people are hoping one day maybe that they can. So I'm just like, it's just a sad story.
Man, this is